I go by the name of Joffey Joe, and this is my show. Call it how I see it. And right here, I have the inspiration and mascot to my show, Young Felix. But let me let you down, buddy. Let me get into detail and let me go into how I call and see things. Okay. So, in today's action packed episode, I got a couple of things I want to talk to y'all about. But, in a serious business note, the first topic I wanted to go into detail about is contract buyouts. Wow. Why would I talk about such a thing? Well, something that grabbed my attention was a certain clown that walked away with a big bag of money, right? That big clown that I'm talking about is Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher got kicked out. Well, he didn't get kicked out, he got fired or parted mutual ways. Right, whatever. However, however, he does walk away with a big sum of cash. So, he had a contract buyout. And in that contract buyout, Texas A&M, his employer, the school that he was working for and trying to win games for in football, said, "We don't want you here anymore, and we'll pay you the rest of your money just to walk away and not be associated with us anymore," which is pretty crazy. But the amount of money they're going to give him is even more crazy. It's $76 million. Crazy. But that's why you have contracts. And that's why you have buyouts in terms of certain things that happen when things go sideways. So, this is a trend, right? And in this trend, coaches and their representatives will only continue to go about this form of business until the NCAA changes their business module, right? College athletics, when it comes down to it, it's ran by stakeholders, not stockholders. And at the end of the day, wins are what matter, not profits. It's all about wins. It's all about results. If you're not winning and you're not putting people in the stadium or getting people to watch your games, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. You can have all the merchandise and everything else involved. It's about results. And that's why his sorry clown ass got fired. No results. You had high recruiting classes and you did nothing with it. And that's why you had to walk, right? So, the structure of this is a result of a big pie, right? A big pie. So, you have in college, because it's different from professional sports since it's considered amateur, it's a big pie where everything in terms of viewership, stadium revenue, and merchandise and everything else, right? Boosters that influence and put their own interest of money into this big pie. It gets divided into different angles and different avenues, right? So, Jimbo Fisher and his story and his situation, he was not able to get the results that his party, in terms of his boosters and backers, had wanted. So that's why they gave him the axe. But smart enough, he was able to get a bag of big money as he walked out. So technically speaking, no, he won't get that all at once. That's $76 million. He'll get about $20 million at the end of the year, and then every year moving forward till I believe 2016 or 2017, he'll get paid at least $9 million to not coach or do anything involved with Texas A&M football, which is crazy, but things like this happen, and that's why you need to have the right representatives around you. Smart business move, but a clown of a coach. Other coaches in this sport that have such buyout clauses include Kirby Smart of the Georgia Bulldogs, Brian Kelly of the LSU Tigers, who has bounced around from other teams, so he knows how to play the game. And two sorry coaches. The first sorry coach just lost a sorry ass game against Michigan, and that sorry ass coach is James Franklin. James Franklin got an extension, and in that extension, he made sure there was a contract buyout involved, which was smart. I can't knock that. And at the end of the day, he's got Penn State by the balls because ever since the whole Joe Paterno fiasco, They've been in shambles, but they have resurrected themselves, kind of dusted their hands off from that whole situation, and kind of come back to light in terms of being a football school, but not a power house of a school that they were before. But that's another light. But another coach that I think is a clown, but a smart businessman, is Matt Rule. Matt Rule went. Matt Rule started off at Temple, bounced to Baylor, and after a good season in Baylor, was able to parlay that into an NFL coaching job, which is crazy. He got a 6 year, $62 million deal, and only did 2 years of that deal. He was fired. But in terms of that sport, he was able to get that contract buyout. So, in aspects of getting fired from the Carolina Panthers, he was able to recover, bounce back, and get a job with the Nebraska Cornhuskers to be their head coach. So he's getting paid the rest of that contract and getting a new contract on top of it, which is even more than he was getting paid in Carolina. What a fraud. What a con artist, but smart man. I got to give it to you. I do. But you don't bring results, and you probably will get fired again and probably do the same process with another school that is dumb enough to pay you, which continues to be the process and trend of this whole contract buyout. These coaches are just making the money. They are, and they're going to continue making the money unless something is changed. But how can this change, right? So you have this big pie, and it's getting split into pieces that are already divided up. However, how could you get another piece or have other pieces get smaller and cut, right? And that small piece would be including student athletes, right? Student athletes, as of today, are only entitled to endorsement deals. There is court cases being fought where they can have entitlement to being paid as employees, which I do think will happen. I do. When it will, I don't know. That's another fight for another day that I don't seem to fully understand yet either. But I do think and believe one day that student athletes will be treated as employees and be and paid as such, where that big pie that I was implementing before will be divided into another sliver where they can make their own money. And that will be the only way that can stop all these contract buyouts, which has become a big poison in the NCAA unless you are providing results. But most of these, like, you get a handful of coaches that can, and then you have a handful of coaches that can't. And that's only and I'm only talking about the contracts that are mega contracts. There's other coaches out there that have this structured in their contracts where they can walk away and get fired and get another job and still be okay, or even get an analyst job or something else. It is a crazy, crazy thing. So overall, unless the NCAA changes their business module and how they conduct and do business, this will only continue to be the trend, and this will only be the theme, where clown ass coaches like Matt Rule and clown ass coaches like Jimbo Fisher, who haven't done much and provided any type of results, will continue to make money and will continue to make the bag. Which, am I hating on it? No, I'm not hating on it. Get the bag, bro. Get it. But I'm going to call you out on it because overall you're not providing the results. And if you're not providing the results that they are looking for, that these boosters and everything else involved is looking for, you're just a con artist. And at the end of the day, I have to call that as I see it. So I'm back. Feels good to be back. But the feeling that I have right now, eh, eh. I gotta talk about The Sixers game. All right, so where to start? I got some notes. I got notes, right? So we're back in second place in the East. We're back-to-back losses on back-to-back nights at home, and it was cool. On a side note, I just want to say it was cool to see Topper Rob Thompson, Phillies manager, ring the bell before the game started. Great idea, but the way it turned out, eh, eh. And we're still missing people. We're missing Nico Batum, which I believe he's recovering from his finger. And we are still missing our friend Kelly Oubre, which a lot of people are starting to feel a little suspicious about. Some people are saying that, well, it was reported today by the Philadelphia PD that they cannot find any surveillance footage of him being struck by a car as he was riding his bike. However, there is a new video that I just witnessed via TMZ, I believe by his wife or partner, as I better iterate in a better light, that showed that he was in a lot of pain and discomfort, and that his partner insisted and sued that he was hit by a car. I'm sure y'all can find that video out there. I think it's very convincing to show that, and I don't think this is some Jesse Smollett situation. So all y'all people that want to go after a man that got hit by a car, y'all should just go out in traffic and then go decide what happens after that, right? You get hit by a car, you go decide what you do about it. Some people go to the hospital right away. Some people go check in with their others and other everything else and go about it after that, right? So I don't see why he would lie about that. I'm like Nick Nurse. I believe in what he said, and I don't see any reason why he would want to take time out after having such a great start to this team. And it makes no sense to fabricate a story such like that. All right, so I don't believe it. I believe it was a hit and run story, but we'll see. I believe in him now, so we'll see. But minus all that, I do want to get back to the game. Okay. Boston was missing Porzingis and Jaylen Brown. I would say they're second and third best players on their team. However, a good friend of ours that stole money from us, he showed out. And he always shows out and gives Joel Embiid a hard time. I don't understand why. I can't explain it, because when he plays other people in the NBA, they cook him. When he plays other people in the NBA, it looks like he shouldn't even be in the NBA anymore. But for some odd reason, when Al Horford plays against the Sixers, he always shows out. He hits 4 threes. He's blocking 4 shots. He gives the Sixers such a freaking hard time. I don't understand it. It really grinds my gears. I really can't explain it, and I don't get it. I don't know if his pride just takes a big hit when he plays against the Sixers because of personal reasons and other past events that he's had against the Sixers. I can't explain it. But he gives Joel Embiid he gives Joel Embiid the heebie-jeebies. I don't know. He can't. Joel Embiid, when he sees Al Horford covering him, he doesn't know what to do. He had a season low in points, and he just always turns into a shell of himself. Whether it's the playoffs, whether it's the regular season, I'm just really tired of seeing it. It's really sad. It really is. How do you let this sorry ass player shut you down like that? And it's happened again and again. Overall, I think Joel needs to take a day off. Honestly, he looked bad against the Pacers Tuesday night, and now he looks bad against the Celtics Wednesday night when we need him, when they're missing their center. You're telling me you'd rather have Porzingis out there? Come on, man. Well, other notes that I put down and jotted down on this sorry ass loss. It's a shame because we were leading at halftime. I really thought we were going to win this game because we had a good second quarter. Third quarter came out, and then we fell behind again. And then the fourth quarter happened, and then they just couldn't take the lead. They fought, and they couldn't take the lead. So Drew Holiday gave Maxey problems. I mean, he's an all NBA player. And honestly, he's just such an upgrade over Marcus Smart, and it's gonna cost us. But we'll see. On a brighter side of things, I did want to mention that someone that I kind of had my doubts about has been showing out since Kelly Oubre hasn't been in the lineup, and that's the Anthony Melton. Melton had 28 points Tuesday night, and I believe he had 29 tonight. I could be wrong. I have to look at that number again. But he's been shooting the lights out, and he's been playing a lot better. It looks like he might have found his groove back, which we totally need at this situation, right? So last Wednesday, Boston shot horrific from three, and this Wednesday they shot terrific from three. So overall, I believe that there needs to be better defense around the perimeter. There's way too many open looks. I mean, I can't count how many times I saw Derek White hit an open three, or even freaking Al Horford hitting open threes, which I can't stand because his shot is so fucking ugly. But it is what it is. I think I have these emotions towards this game because these are the two games that we played Boston at home. And like I reiterated in the podcast last week, I thought that this team at 100% can definitely beat the Celtics in 6 games. However, um, today was an instance of the Celtics winning those one of those games in that 7 game series. However, I did see us fight. We did fight in other instances that we played Boston, especially in the playoffs last year. They gave up. So I can take this as a lesson for us and a stepping stone for us moving forward. But overall, on another note, I'm tired of Joel Embiid dribbling the ball up the court. I mean, the lack of awareness to everything going on around you, doing your own thing. There's other people on the court. You should pay attention. Um, First quarter, even against the Pacers, we fell behind as in this instance tonight, Boston went on a 20-78 run at the end of the first quarter and took a commanding lead. At one point, they were up 17 points, and yes, we did fight back, but we weren't able to win the game. And if you're a smart man betting at halftime bets like a weirdo, you would have won money for the Sixers, right? I'm tired. Like I said, I think Joel Embiid needs a day off because I'm tired of seeing him be lazy. I'm tired of him getting out rebound by 6'4" and 6'5" guards out there. It's pathetic, honestly, and your work ethic needs to step up. If you're hurt, then don't play. If you're questionable, don't play. Take the day off. You can, if you're questionable, then you can take the day off and not have to face any of the league repercussions for resting. Okay, but that's another thing. Another person that bothers me a lot when we play the Celtics is Tobias Harris. I can't stand it. I'm tired of Tobias Harris trying to cover Jason Tatum. I'm tired of watching it. You're not athletic enough. You're not long enough. He kills you, bro. He kills you. And when it comes to offensive side, you're very inconsistent. You drive up. I think at least one time per game, you drive up the court thinking you're gonna lay the ball up on a fast break and you miss it. You miss it almost every game. I'm tired of seeing that too. I can't wait till this contract's expired because he's just very inconsistent. And yeah, he puts up points here and there, but when he plays the good teams, he doesn't do anything. Honestly, he just turns into a shadow and just sits on the baseline or just sits on the perimeter and doesn't do anything. I'm really tired of watching Tobias Harris sometimes. It's very frustrating, especially when you're getting paid that money. And it's been the same story for the last 3 years. It really has been. Um, Good note. I did like Robert Covington. Rocco played good tonight. I believe, had 16 points, couple steals. That length and that strip ability came into light again, and it shows that he will be a valuable rotational player when we need it. And if he's in the starting lineup or if he's not in the starting lineup, he is a defensive prowess that definitely helps our team. He's definitely a good thing. Seeing Maxi get a technical foul for the first time, that was pretty. I don't think it was. I don't think he merited it because he was just pleading his case, and Mr. Big Bad Referee just wanted to praise. Whatever. It is what it is. Another bright note that I saw, and this could be very big in the future, was Jaden Springer. I think Jaden Springer ended up with 12 points. I could be wrong. I should have that stat, but I'm not as prepared as I should be. However, his effect even led Nick Nurse to say in the press conference that he is going to be playing Jaden Springer more, which I think is a great idea. I think him and Maxey could make a great combo together. He plays great defense. He hustles hard, and his awareness is very underrated. I saw him a couple times on the baseline put up buckets that he missed, but he's a very he's got some grit to him, and I really like him. He can shoot, he can dribble, he's a good guard, and whether he's part of our plan of the future or a trading piece, I do think it's very important that they put him on the court, especially more than Kirk Moss, whatever Kirk Moss, Furkan, Kirk Moss. I'm just put Jaden Springer on the floor, please. That's really all I have to really say. Um, like I said, Boston just hit us and killed us on the three. Um, yeah, tonight they win that, but in the playoffs and 7 game series, like I iterated before, and like the years past, you guys want to keep shooting threes, right? Keep shooting them. You'll get your nights, but in the long run, in the long scheme of things, it doesn't win you a title. It doesn't. And Joe Mazzulla is going to sit there looking stupid like he always does. All right? I'm tired of it. I really am. You guys, like I said, you guys got us tonight. You guys should have won by a lot more points, really, but you didn't. So take that for a grain of salt, okay? But the real reason and the real hero for the Boston Celtics tonight was really Derek White. And thank God you shaved your fucking hair off, man. Fucking ugly ass hair. But a pesky little player you are, honestly. You ball. I can give you that. You are a baller, and that's why you start now. Your 27 points helped out a lot. All right. Jason Tatum helped close the deal for you guys in the fourth quarter. But Derek White, you were making shots. You were passing the ball. You were doing everything necessary and needed, as they announced in the game. You did what you had to do. And I have a lot of respect for you on the court. But overall, if you're playing for them, I don't like you. I don't like you at all. And you made us pay. You really did. But there's a lot to take into this game. Like I said, the perimeter defense needs to be fixed. It does. This was a problem with Doc Rivers, and this same bunch is still having this issue. Um, I still believe if we are 100%, and no matter what deal we end up making, because I do think there's going to be another deal made, I believe that we can still beat them in a 6 game series. I do. I think Nick Nurse can outcoach Joe Mazzulla. I think that these last 2 nights, they have responded, but they need to respond in a better light. And back-to-back nights are not easy, especially when you had the Pacers that were mad about losing Sunday to you guys, and then having to play Boston. I mean, if you really were if you look at the Eastern Conference standings right now, it is us, Boston, and Indiana. That is the top 3 teams right now. Things will change, no doubt, but Indiana's going to be in the playoffs this year. They are a good team. Rich Carlisle is a good coach. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton is going to be an all-star, no doubt about it. And there's just, it's just a lesson learned. You learn from these losses. They'll bounce back. And things will go forward from there. And once we collectively get back to 100%, I think things will get back rolling, and I think we will definitely give this team a harder time the next time we play them. I do. So we'll see what happens. Maxey and Embiid underwhelmed a lot, especially Joel Embiid. He underwhelmed a lot. But sometimes you just got to take that L and move forward from it. So that's really all I can really say and tell you how I see it. And I'm back. Look who came to join me. I'm going to let him hang out for me until he wants to get down. So, the final thing I wanted to talk to y'all about is the Monday Night Football matchup. In case y'all don't know, it is the Eagles versus the Chiefs. The Eagles will travel to Kansas City and play the Kansas City Chiefs in a Super Bowl rematch. Okay? So, this will probably mean I will watch as much as I can on ABC until I'm tired of Troy Aikman bagging on the Eagles like he always does. Super Bowl rematch, right? There's a big conspiracy out there about the Super Bowl logos and the colors pertaining to the logos. This year pertains a more purple and reddish color. Some are implementing that it will be the Ravens and the 49ers. But we'll see. I think it's kind of phooey, but we'll see because honestly, the green, if we're going to really talk art and colors, that green, I don't know if that's really Eagles green. You could say that could be the Jaguars green or the Dolphins green. Like whatever. If you want to be that type of person. Just because like the Bengals and the Rams had their colors up there, I don't know. Whatever. Conspiracy. Whatever. I'm here to talk about the game though, okay? The Chiefs are a favorite, only 3 points. Some sports books have them at -2.5. The lines are shifting towards the Eagles. Just want to point that out. Could mean something. Both teams are coming off a bye. Both teams are leading their conferences. Both are helping out Monday Night Football ratings, for sure. So, and both teams are coming off wins against teams with winning records. Okay? The Eagles via the Cowboys and the Chiefs via the Dolphins, which they played in Germany, and that game was not what it should have been. Oh, yeah. I forgot to tell y'all or mention it's the Kelce Bowl, Part 2, which means Taylor Swift's gonna be there, Mama Kelce's gonna be there, Papa Kelce, Taylor Swift, Uncle Jim Bob, Brittany won't leave Taylor Swift alone, Mahomes, and the emotional support alligator. Whatever. Whatever, dude. I don't care about that shit, bro. I am interested in seeing how Travis Kelce is going to play because these clowns in the media, buddy, you got to get down. These clowns in the media are trying to make a big deal about Travis Kelce going to see his girlfriend perform in Argentina. So let me just put this in a light, right? When two people are in a relationship, it's an intimate level, right? It's also supposed to be private, right? So if my man didn't feel like he could handle doing that type of stuff on his week off, why? What is he supposed to be doing? Like let the man live. Y'all are trying to be nosy. Y'all are trying to say that he should be doing this and she should be doing that. Man, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Let the man live, honestly. Like he's done so much already on the football field that none of y'all in media or whatever will ever touch in credential wise. So shut the fuck up, honestly. Let's be real. So minus all the circus brouhaha that I'm not really buying into. In terms of the game, right? The game in terms of most sports books, this game is at the over under is at 46, which I like the over. But that's just me. Don't take my betting expertise. I don't bet anymore. I've learned the hard way. I don't think this will be a barn burner though. Both teams haven't looked their best. A lot of us watching from afar are expecting that these two teams would be dominating other teams, but that's not the case, and that's not the case of how they picked up most of their wins, especially the Eagles, which I think the only largest margin of win was by 11 points. I would have to check Kansas City's. I didn't really get into detail because I really don't give a fuck. But on paper, as many would say in the media and analyst game. The Eagles have the better team, and blah, blah, blah. Right. This game is part of the Eagles' heavy hitter gauntlet. Minus Buffalo next week because Buffalo is a sorry ass team. But after Buffalo, they play San Francisco, they play Dallas, and they play Seattle. So, if they do finish off hypothetically with a 3-2 record after this set of games, they will have secured not only the NFC East for back-to-back seasons for the first time since they did it in 04-05, but they will also lock up home field advantage again, which is big. It's huge. It definitely helped propel us and get us to the Super Bowl last year. So, back to the game at hand, though. I am worried about our pass defense. I do think Mahomes will have over 300 yards passing, as the Eagles collectively are not a good defensive team against the pass. They are in the bottom 5, and it kind of reminds me of Jim Schwartz's defense, where it was run stuff and play cushion defense in terms of the secondary, which a lot of teams like to take advantage of with slants and in routes and other type of routes and stuff. Pacheco is a good running back. I like him, violent kid. But overall, he is facing the wall that is the Eagles' rush defense, which is number 1 in the NFL, only giving 66 yards per rush per game. Right now, Kansas City is 13th in putting up points with 23 points per game, and their defense, which is sneakily underrated and is a top 5 defense, is only giving up a shade under 16 points, which I think is second in the NFL, which I could be wrong. Our defense under Mr. Sean Desai, who's kind of taking over after Jonathan Gannon and putting his own stamp on things in a different light. We are currently ranked the 14th ranked defense, and that's mostly because of how much we have been giving up through the air. We average as a defense in total about 323 yards per game. That's what the opponents have been putting up on us through these first 9 games. Right? So, Eagles on offense, though, we are considered, in terms of stats and everything, we are considered the third best offense in terms of putting up points with 28 points per game, and our defense is 18th ranked, only letting other opponents put up 21.7 points per game against us. Third down will be crucial, as the Eagles have shined on third down at the NFL best, 50%. But on defense, it is a bit alarming, as they are 25th, giving up 42.6% on third down conversions. So third down will be crucial, and we will have to see how we have planned in terms of stopping them and what they do. The Eagles will be without Dallas Goedert, which will hurt us, especially in the run game, because he's a very underrated run blocker. We are currently 8th in the NFL after our hot start in the beginning of the year, but we are now at 8th ranked rushing offense, which I think could be better, and it will be better as we are getting more of our offensive linemen back. I believe Cam Jurgens is set to play and do his thing because he is a great run blocker. Overall, this game here will come down to matchups. I believe, if we keep the ball, not turn it over, and force Kansas City to make plays on third down that they can't make, keep them off the field, and if we control the clock, I think we will win this game. Overall, I think if we have most of the same formula that we had during the Super Bowl, we can win this game for sure. However, this is in Kansas City. It's going to be loud. The environment's going to be different, and there's a lot to take in consideration in terms of playing the Chiefs in their own house. But it will be watched by a lot of people, and I'm really excited for it. I know I will definitely be tuned in and take everything into consideration, how this game is played and how I will view it and look at it from my own angle of things.